Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Couple minutes, no score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
It's Sunday lunchtime here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. As you're tucking into your Yorkshire pudding, feast your eyes on the Bristol Flyers, who are hosting the Leicester Riders. It's 1-1 in the championship series so far this season, but recent form favors the Riders. They are 7-3, whereas Bristol are exactly opposite, 3-7 in the last 10. Calling this one is former Great Britain international Dan Clark. He's alongside Tahir Hajat. Take it away, fellas.
Happy Mothering Sunday. British Basketball League Championship action as the Bristol Flyers host the Leicester Riders. My name is Tahir Hajat, joined alongside, as you already heard, Great Britain international Dan Clark. And we're both here on Mothering Sunday. Our wrists have been well and truly slapped, but we've got 2 Great British Basketball League games coming up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a great Sunday of basketball. We are going to miss our mums, but I'm sure we'll get through it today together.
Well, I'm hoping your mum is sitting down and getting ready to watch some British Basketball League Championship action. Let's take a look at the starting fives for these teams. For the Bristol Flyers, this is how they line up today. Things are looking a little better. Tevin Ollison back in the starting lineup alongside Levi Bradley, Dejon Lucas, Keedy Johnson, and the double-double machine, Brad Green. For the Leicester Riders today, this is how they will line up. Kimball McKenzie will start at the point guard position. He's joined alongside Mo Walker, Myron Torres, Jaron Holmes, and Teddy Buckets Allen. The starting fives there for you. Let's take a look at some individual talent. A big man after your own heart, Dan, is Brad Green.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of big men, as you know. Brad Green is the big man of the British Basketball League this year. Double-double machine, as you said. Really looking forward to see the matchups today with him and the Leicester front court, but he's playing at home. You know, I'm expecting a big game on Mother's Day today for Brad Green.
Well, let's see who he's coming up against. You spoke about the front court, but let's talk about the back court. Teddy Buckets Allen.
I mean, what can we say about Teddy Allen? You know, that's not been said already. Player of the month, leading scorer in the league. You know, he's in great form. He's turned the Leicester Riders season around, and I'm sure it's again today. Rob will be really counting on Teddy Allen to make a big difference.
Well, let's see if he can do just that. Andreas Kapoulas will be hoping he can't. Bristol need wins if they're going to climb up the British Basketball League Championship table. Let's find out how this all goes. We'll be back with you straight after the break. Here we go, British Basketball League Championship. And your referees for today, Ed Yudansky, David Griffin. And they are in charge, ready for today's matchup. My name is Tahir Hadja alongside Dan Clark. We're taking you through this big game between the Bristol Flyers and the Leicester Riders. 1-1 in championship action this season. They also met in the trophy as well this season, where Leicester Riders defeated the Bristol Flyers. And we'll see now how these two teams fare. Of course, tough times for the Bristol Flyers. They've lost, as Todd mentioned, 7 of their last 10 games. And the Leicester Riders are having a turn in form. They're playing wonderful basketball. 2 recent losses, as Myron Thomas knocks down the 3 against London and the Plymouth City Patriots. In the Plymouth City Patriots game, they were a little short on their usual numbers. But now they're looking to push their way up the table, and Bristol Flyers are looking for the same as Levi Bradley fires up another 3. Brad Green fights for the rebound against Walker. And Riders have got the lead in this game.
Yeah, I think we've seen two offensives for Bristol and one offensive rebound for Brad Green already, and another potential offensive rebounds. We see Teddy Allen trying to get his score ticking over today. But yeah, that's going to be a big factor in the game today. You know, we've seen it in previous games this season that Brad Green has you know, destroyed the Leicester Riders on the offensive glass, and I think that will be a key for the Bristol Flyers winning today.
Keely Johnson opens up his account from behind the arc, knocking it down for 3. Leicester Riders are up there in the league in terms of their efficiency from behind the 3-point line, and traditionally this season Bristol have struggled against teams who do particularly well from behind the arc, including Dan Clark's and Lloyd Gardner's Surrey Scorchers this season, who got the clean sweep. That's a nice achievement.
It is nice to get that, but yeah, as you said, live and die by the 3, as a lot of people say in the British Basketball League about the Surrey Scorchers. But yeah, Bristol's definitely a team that have been, you know, struggled with teams that have shot the 3 well this season. So we'll see how Leicester do today.
That's a backcourt violation called there. Tough defense on the halfway line forces Bristol to step back into their half of the court. Leicester Riders will have possession. Myron Thomas has got his account open as well. His first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, I think Myron Thomas for the Leicester Riders. We talked about Teddy Allen at the top of the show, but he needs that support, and Myron Thomas is one of the guys that can be an X factor for the Leicester Riders today.
And a brilliant season in his first year as a basketball professional for the Riders. Took a little while for him to get settled, but once he has done, he's proved how pivotal he is to this team.
Yeah, 100%. You know, he's had some absolutely huge games and amazing highlights. You know, and I think we're just starting to see, what Myron Thomas can do as a professional basketball player, and hopefully it's for a long time in the British Basketball League.
And here comes the Flyers with Brad Green in the paint, one-on-one with Walker. He fires that one up, and a nice tip in there for Tevin Ollison.
There's that offensive rebounding from the Bristol Flyers. You know, it's one of their trademark plays, I think. You know, we talked about it. You know, I was looking at some stats before the game, and Brad Green scores 25% of all of his points from offensive rebounds. You know, it's a big stat for them.
Well, Walker fires up the 3. No good for him, as Lucas attacks the baseline, and the foul is called. And it looks like the basket will count here.
Yeah, and that's going to be another key for Bristol. Get out, run, get after these Leicester Riders players. You know, they are very talented in the offensive end, but we've got to put them under pressure on the defensive end. And
let's just touch back on that point that you made about Brad Green. You know, in their last game, he was kept relatively quiet, kept to, I believe, 7 points in total in that game, a low number of rebounds. Well, prior on this season, as you mentioned, he had a monster game with 19 points and 17 rebounds, 14 of which were offensive. Teddy Allen drives to the bucket
defense
there. Defense does enough. Out here, Johnson.
That's great defensive transition by the Leicester Riders there. You know, they stopped the offense. Ooh, nice take. But they stopped Bristol getting out running. They stopped them, having that transition game where Bristol can be really effective. But yeah, Johnson made a great play driving to the middle.
Drive it to the middle. Bristol up by 4. Early on in this one. Allen. Thomas. To try and find another option here. Thomas into the hands of McKenzie. Myron Thomas now has room for the 3. Rebound for Green. They're pushing the ball forward here. Lucas. Oof. Car crash underneath the rim. Myron Thomas was going up for the block. And an offensive foul has been called here against Lucas.
It was a great stance by Kimball McKenzie. It'd be interesting to see if his feet were inside that, semicircle areas. You see that restricted area. For basketball fans out there that aren't aware, if your feet are in that restricted area, we're not going to, it should be a, as you see there, he's outside. That's a great defensive stance from Kimball McKenzie. But if you're outside of that restricted area, you can draw an offensive foul. If you're inside it, it becomes a lot more difficult.
Jaron Holmes mid-range, he knocks that down. Really impressed with how the Riders roster has started to come into its own here. The confidence, they've settled into the system that Rob Paternostro's put in place. As they come up with the rebound with Allen. Skip, lofted pass, and Walker tried to be clever with the bounce pass there.
Yeah, big man the size of Mo Walker with 2 feet in the paint. You've got to expect him to go up there and finish.
Allen trying to take it away from Bradley here. Bradley, though, he's going to be persistent, and a blocking foul called against Myron Thomas.
Yeah, that's a nice little matchup there, I think, to hear for today. Myron Thomas versus Levi Bradley. Levi Bradley's been in the British Basketball League for a number of years now, and as we said, Myron Thomas has been, it's his first year as a professional basketball player. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top on that one.
Myron Thomas is going to go to the bench here because he's got 2 personal fouls. Not what the Riders would have wanted early on in this game. However, plenty of ammunition on the bench, and they've stayed relatively healthy for the most part this season. Yeah,
as you say that, coming off the bench, Sam Maduru, he's had some big games this year already. Can really stretch the floor, can play both the 4 and the 5 spot. So it'll be interesting to see how Rob manages his rotations with the fouls for Thomas early on.
Bradley converts from the free throw line. Slight pause here. And that'll be because the clock is not aligned. That'll be Leicester Riders possession. And, Bristol half of the court. Nostro there alongside Myron Thomas, TJ Lal. I'm sure he's sharing his frustration with his teammates.
That's what part of being on the bench is for. You can get things off your chest and talk to teammates about it and get ready to get back on the floor, because that's what Myron Thomas has to focus on now, is that he's probably not going to play much more in this first half, but he's got to be ready to produce in that second half.
Well, they've sorted out the shot clock here. 5 minutes, 8 seconds. And 20 seconds placed on the shot clock. Based on the officials' decisioning. Here's Idowu. Throws that one up there, and that's tough defense inside again from the Bristol Flyers. Here's Ollison. Johnson to the baseline, to the reverse. No good. Idowu with the boards.
He was looking for a foul there. I'm not sure if he did get touched or not, but it was he had an easy finish on one side of the ring and tried to make a fancy move onto the other.
Head down now for Kimball McKenzie. He runs into Brad Green, and the blocking foul called. 2 shots for Kimball McKenzie. And we're going to have a quick break here, but the score stands at 11-7. Bristol Flyers in the lead. Back to the action then. Kimball McKenzie will head to the free throw line after the foul committed by Brad Green. 11-7 the score. The Bristol Flyers are in the lead early on here. 4:41 remaining in the first. My name is Tahir Hajat alongside Dan Clark. And here on Mothering Sunday, I did send some flowers to my mother and the mother of my children as well, just to let them know, keep on mothering. Definitely without them, I wouldn't be here today. Not in the sense of course, they created me in terms of birth, but also just the support that, you know, they give me to be able to come and actually commentate some basketball games on a Sunday, on Mothering Sunday. I'm sure there'll be some repercussions, Dan.
I'm sure there will be, but I think everyone can understand. Everyone can make a little bit of a sacrifice for a British Basketball League on a Sunday with 2 great games.
Yeah, without a doubt. I love the positive attitude, brother Dan Clark. Here's Brad Green. Now, Lucas slips a little there, looks along the baseline to find Johnson. Teddy Allen swiping hard on the ball there. Foul called against him.
Bristol are being aggressive, trying to get into the paint. I think it would be great for Bristol if they could try and establish Brad Green a bit more in the early going. I think it's important that they get him going and get him engaged in this game. You know, he hasn't had many touches so far, so it would be great to see a few more touches for the big man inside.
As Johnson misses the first, Leicester Riders now, next foul, team trouble. And that means 2 free throws from now on, every foul other than offensive, as a result of a Leicester Riders infringement. Here comes the Riders with McKenzie. Holmes sets the screen. Across to Holmes again. McKenzie for 3 in the corner. Nothing but net.
Yeah, Kimball McKenzie, you know, Rob can always count on Kimball to have a big game when he needs to. You know, he's a solid player. Just does what he needs to do to win basketball games.
Bradley. Nice little short shot there, 45 degrees, no backboard required. Stolen. Johnson now looking at the triple, and that's a big 5-point play for the Bristol Flyers.
And those energy players that the Bristol Flyers need, they need to get their fans engaged. They need to get, you know, the SGS Arena rocking. As we see Jaron Holmes, he's playing really well of late. You know, I think we'll get to see him next Sunday as well to hear in the All-Star game. Be great to see what he's got to offer.
Well, we're looking forward to that All-Star opportunity. The power is in the players' hands, and I cannot emphasize it enough. Oh, wow, look at this. Tevin Ollison getting all the way to the bucket. And one who'll go to the free throw line as well. Bristol with a response. 5-point play, Jaron Holmes quiet downs the arena, weaving in and out of traffic with a layup, and then Tevin Ollison gets some hype again with that one.
Yeah, I mean, Bristol done a great job so far of getting into that, you know, that keyway, that red area as we see there on the TV screen, and really putting the Leicester Riders defense under a lot of pressure. You know, and they're getting a lot of reward for it.
Ollison will complete the 3-point play to give a 6-point advantage to the Flyers. Well, I was saying about the All-Star game, the power's in the players' hands, regardless of what the coaches and GMs might think. You know, they want to not have any players injured, everybody to get through it safely, etc. But if the players decide to go at it, it would be one of the most unique All-Star games on the planet. Because as we already know, the NBA All-Star game, fans have been a little discontent with due to the lack of competitiveness of the game sometimes. And I just feel like the British Basketball League players, as Bradley knocks down a triple, might be ready to go head-to-head on it, and a timeout forced now. Bristol Flyers pouring in the points, making it happen, and Rob Paternoster wants to talk it over.
Yeah, 100%. As I said before, again, Trajan Jacob gets downhill, gets into the paint, kicks out for a great look for Levi Bradley. And there's one thing Levi Bradley can do is he can shoot the 3-point shot with his feet set, and he did so there.
Here it is again. Bradley, catch, money, shoot. Catch, shoot, money. Get it in the right order. But the smart timeout here from Rob Paternoster, just to try and not let this get too away from them in the first quarter, because they'll be trying to climb a mountain for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you know, obviously Rob's an experienced coach. I mean, I think it's a big game for Rob this weekend, right? 500 games in the BBL. You know, he's an experienced coach. He knows exactly how he's going to have to, poke his players right here to get a reaction and get them back on track. He's gone to his bench early, for fouls and also for rotation. But, these guys have got to start to produce. The likes of Duke Shelton, Sam Adu, they've got to start put some points on the board here.
Well, Leicester's last 4 results, as I've mentioned, they lost to London, they lost to Plymouth, but took valuable victories against Cheshire Phoenix and the Sheffield Sharks, and prior to that, the Caledonia Gladiators on the road. Big victories for them. Well, Bradley doing his best to try and get a win in the column for the Bristol Flyers. He's got 7 points, 3 rebounds early on. McKenzie, 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first. Lal is into the game. Holmes trying to find that room towards the basket, and he does a great job of finding that path.
Yeah, I mean, as we see, Bristol are a really aggressive team, a really tough team on defense. They use a lot of physicality. As we see there again, another easy basket near, getting into that paint and scoring easily. But they're a very physical team. And we see a couple of Leicester players complaining about the level of physicality and the fouls that they think they are, but Bristol done a great job so far of establishing the physicality of this game and making sure that the refs are aware that they're the more physical team, and that Leicester are going to have to bend and adjust to what the Bristol Flyers are doing.
There's another stop for the Flyers. Jacob. Which Trajan Jacob's going to turn up today?
Yeah, he is. I've said it more than one time on broadcast, but he is the X factor for the Bristol Flyers. If he gets going, they're a tough team to beat.
Well, Brad Green, he's starting to get himself going now. Back to basket, right-handed hook shot from the big man's playbook. Duke Shelton with a response there. Nice mid-range jumper.
I'm not used to seeing that from Duke Shelton. We're used to seeing him close to the basket, finishing big dunks and things like that, not the mid-range pull-up.
Well, talk about big plays. Tevin Ollison was almost setting up a highlight reel there.
Yeah, I think we were all expecting a big dunk there, but it was a nice adjustment, a nice finish there. He's a player of a lot of class.
Holmes, the 2-3 zone here from the Bristol Flyers. Shelton tries to follow that one up. Green with his hands on it. Bradley back to basket, inside. Fresh 14, so Bristol will look to find the best possible opportunity to score the ball here, which is Jacob, catch and shoot, 3, and it's just going to be one of those days. You can feel it in your fingers, you can feel it in your toes. And Trajan Jacob, everybody knows.
You can see it with the Bristol Flyers as well. Their energy, their intent, they're so aggressive at this moment in time. Leicester Riders are playing catch-up basketball at the moment.
Jaron Holmes, big 3 if it goes down, and it does. Damage control there from Jaron Holmes, keeping the game with 11 points the difference. 5 seconds on the clock now. Can Bristol do something here? Johnson. And a foul has been called. Been called on Jaron Holmes. 2 shots to come now for Johnson. Here is that triple. Lands awkwardly, but gets the ball where he needs to in his pocket. Kaboom.
Yeah, and that's one of the underrated things about Trajan Jacob. He is an amazing athlete. That catch there was not an easy catch, and then to land and then shoot the 3. That's an impressive skill set there, and I think we'll see him as well next weekend at the All-Star game, showing off that athleticism of it, I think.
We like to see athleticism. That's what we're going to be. We're there to be entertained. March 17th at the Copper Box Arena. Make sure you purchase your tickets, BritishBasketballLeague.com. Not an event you want to miss. I now know that the ticket sales are great, just under 5,000 so far, but I'm sure we're very close to a sellout at the Copper Box. And that's the end of the first quarter, 32-20. A wonderful first quarter from the Bristol Flyers. We'll be back with you very shortly after the break. Rob Paternoster is going to have to draw on all his British Basketball League experience to turn this 12-point deficit around, and he's done it many times before. In fact, in the game against the Cheshire Phoenix, the Riders down 0-17 in the first few minutes of the game, turning around to get the victory. Power is in the hands of the players. Defensively, Riders have got to slow Bristol down here. 32 points in the first quarter. My name's Tahir Hajat alongside Dan Clark as Trajan Jacob rose up another triple, rolls around the rim. Quite unfortunate for not to drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's already made one today, and we know once he sees one go down, he's going to keep on shooting it till, you know, till the cows come home. But he's extremely important, as we see Connor Washington in the game for the Leicester Riders. He could be a big X factor as well for the Leicester Riders. You know, he hasn't had a lot of minutes recently, but he can, you know, one of the best three-point shooters in the history of the British Basketball League, and hopefully he can make a couple of shots today.
Well, the shot clock buzzer sounded there, and there was a loss of possession, and so it will be a shot clock violation. Rob Paternoster letting his feelings known.
It's an important moment for the game of Leicester Riders, and they need just a bit more, just to be a bit more solid at this moment in time. You know, there's a, as we see the floor wiper coming out there, Andreas Kapoulis trying to get involved in the action.
Yeah, that's it. He's supposed to do it all, coach. Wipe the floor. He could jump on the court if you give him a chance, I'm sure. Sideline now. Lucas. Fed inside the post to Bradley, and
That move.
yeah, he just felt the arm of Shelton there, didn't he?
Shelton had his hand in the cookie jar, I think, as they call it to here. You know, I think he was trying to be aggressive, trying to, you know, shadow the ball that, you know, Levi Bradley going up for his shot, knowing that he's a great shooter, and Levi Bradley just went straight through that arm and drew the foul.
Right there, you can see his arm on his hip. How many times have people have done that to you, Dan? Or are you the person doing it to them?
I used to love doing that. That was one of my go-to moves, especially when the team just needs a little basket. You know, just get to the free throw line, calm everyone down. You know, Levi Bradley's done a great job so far getting to that free throw line, and he's had a great start to this game.
Well, Levi Bradley joined the Bristol Flyers a little later on in the season. Had been part of the Flyers in previous years, and has almost embraced this role of having to play in the block. You know, undersized Bristol Flyers without Leslie Smith, and it's just Brad Green and Raf Thomas Edwards. He's embraced that, getting into that position and trying to score from there. And as Connor Washington going to work here with the handles, is trying to find some options. No one available for him to offload the ball to, and Lucas will be called for the foul.
Very, very stagnant from the Leicester Riders at this moment in time. You know, we saw Connor there, didn't make a pass in the whole offense. You know, lots of dribbles, not a lot of movement. You know, they need to get everyone involved. When Leicester are at their best, you know, they are moving the ball, they are sharing the ball, and they are creating options for their teammates, and we haven't seen that so far.
Telly Allen's checked back in. See, they go to here. Allen to the right hand. Well, they go to Teddy Allen. That's the answer.
He is the one player on this Leicester Riders team that if you do isolate him, he can create, he can score on anyone in this league.
Free ball goes up here, and another big triple. Knockdown. Tevin Ollison racking up the points in this first half.
Yeah, whatever the Leicester Riders are throwing at the Bristol, they come back with something bigger. Teddy Allen scores a 2 on one end. Tevin Ollison comes back with a 3 on the other. You know, it's...
Oh, and an offensive foul called here. Corey Samuels hits the deck. And now Myron Thomas will check into the game. Duke Shelton has a breather.
Interesting call there.
Well, what's your thoughts on that?
I think there's a lot of contact before the final action there that could or should have been called on Connor, and I think, you know, that end call there, it's a 50-50 call, and I don't think it went the right way.
Well, Bradley back to basket again. The ball rolls over the front of the rim, and Idowu can't quite navigate the pass into the hands of Washington. Bradley.
Leicester Riders with a smaller lineup trying to match, you know, the versatility of Levi Bradley. You know, we talked about it before, him playing in that block, but he's also able at the 5 spot, you know, being able to spread the floor and create that space and the ability for his teammates to drive to the basket.
Well, he's got 11 points now, Bradley. Connor Washington misses that layup. Jacob pulling up for three.
He's had two now, two in and outs now. I can feel Trajan Jacob having a big game today. It's that type of game for him.
Idowu to the right hand, really tough angle to get his shot off there. It was kind of relying on muscle memory and his brain's ability to know where the basket was. Ralph Thomas Edwards is going to shoot a three.
I mean, I know Teddy Allen has scored in this quarter, but none of the shots that the Leicester Riders have taken so far have been good shots. Teddy Allen made a really tough one, as we see there. Connor doing what he does best.
And knocking down a triple, that's for sure. It's a little bit scrappy from the Riders at the moment, it's safe to say.
It's very scrappy, and to be honest with you, to hear that's the style of play the Bristol Flyers like. Leicester Riders have got to find a way to stamp their authority on this game and get back to their style of play, because at the moment it's all Bristol.
Bradley inside again, going to work alongside Ollison, Levi Bradley and Tevin Ollison taking the Riders apart. Myron Thomas inside, consolation layup for two. Bradley has 13, Ollison has 12. Between them, they've got 10 boards.
As we said at the top of the show, Tevin Ollison is such a big player for the Bristol Flyers. Every time he has a good game, they're great defense there.
Bristol Flyers will keep possession. Teddy Allen trying to put the pressure on Thomas Edwards. Keely Johnson checking in. And Trajan Jacob head to the bench. 1 for 3 from behind the arc. Causing a few problems for the Riders off the ball. He's also got 4 boards, Jacob. Levi Bradley will take a break.
This is where you see the big mismatch here. Brad Green guarded by Sam Idowu. He's going to try and put him in the basket here. Ooh.
Had to throw that one up to beat the shot clock buzzer.
Yeah, but I think that's a mismatch we can look at and see how that evolves at this moment in time, because I think if I'm Bristol, I'm going to try and exploit that as much as I can.
Well, Myron Thomas sat down in the first quarter. He had 2 personal fouls. He's back in the game. He's knocked down a big triple on the right-hand side of the floor. Now, skipping across the defense there. Inside again for 2. Tevin Ollison.
There's great use of the basket there. He really used the basket to protect himself from that shot being blocked from the bigger man in Sam Idowu. It was a great finish from Tevin Ollison.
Allen, moves Johnson out of the way. Can't get in the finish.
Those are the ones you expect Teddy Allen just to score in his sleep. It's not been Leicester's day so far.
Johnson lining up another triple. Keely Johnson knocked down. Bristol Flyers on fire from behind the arc.
Not a team that we're used to seeing making this many threes, but they're having a great game so far from the three-point line.
Their 6th triple, they're 50%, 6 out of 12. Corey Samuels, in fact, Johnson swiping down on Connor Washington, getting possession back. Johnson for 3 again. Fight for the rebound. Thomas rips it away, and as he does so, he draws the contact. The foul will be called. Riders will have possession. But we will take a quick break here. 4 minutes and 42 remaining in the second. Bristol Flyers in control. Here we go, back to the action. 4 minutes 42 remaining in the second quarter. It's a 16-point lead for the Bristol Flyers. They've caught fire from behind the arc, 6 for 13 from downtown, 3 plays in double digits. Johnson's got 12, Bradley's got 13, and Tevin Ollison's got 14.
Yeah, it's been a great start in general for the Bristol Flyers. We see them again getting out in transition. Easy bucket again for Tevin Ollison.
It's a cauldron of energy right now in the SGS Wise Arena as well.
And that's what they need. They need a game like this at the moment, Bristol Flyers. You know, they have been struggling of late. You know, they need a big game to get them back on track.
Oh, Myron Thomas not happy with the extra contact there. I don't think there was anything in that from Samuels, if I'm honest with you. Here is Thomas, the behind the back move, and somehow hits the deck. I think he might have just flicked Thomas there with the back of his foot, not intentionally. There it is, look, just there. Yeah.
Just letting him know that he's there and saying Happy Mother's Day to everyone in your family.
McKenzie. Oh, and that's picked away by Johnson. Great hands from Johnson behind the back there. Tried to find Ollison. He thought he was steamrolling through the paint, but the pull-up three, Bradley. Green with the boards and one. That's an incredible rebound and finish from Green.
We talk about Brad Green being a big guy, not agile, big body, you know, takes that space eater, as I call him. But they're agile as anything, you know, getting around his man, finishing quickly. That was a great play from Brad Green.
Hopefully we get a chance to watch that back, because I think his joints there, he must be taking lots of glucosamine.
Either that or a bit of yoga in his spare time.
A bit of yoga, yeah. Added to the flexibility.
You know, we've seen that a couple of times from Brad Green this year. You know, he is very, very nimble for such a big guy. You know, he can get out on the break, he can run, he can finish in transition, he can, you know, use his footwork to, you know, to create advantages where people that size were used to seeing him just bang and bang and bang. But Brad Green is a very agile player.
There is that. Bradley goes up and finishes. And Bristol have come up with a steal on the other side of the floor, or should I say a rebound, and that pass is just deflected away as they try to find Green again. And Samuels here just clips the back of Kimball McKenzie. He goes down. Riders are down by 20 points, Dan. Who would have thought that this would be the situation coming into this game?
Riders are the informed team out of the two of them, but Bristol, you know, understand the importance of this game. You know, we see the likes of Corey Samuels really getting under the skin of the Leicester Riders guards as well. You know, and that's his job. Andreas Kapoulas puts him in the game to get under the skin, to really press Kimball McKenzie full court. You know, and he's doing his job to perfection at the moment.
Well, it is still looking like they're on the bus at this point. Thomas, he'll just pull the trigger from behind the arc. Had to, the clock was winding down, no other option.
Again, very, very stagnant from the Leicester Riders. No movement.
So uncharacteristic that though, Dan.
Yeah, as you said at the top of the show, they've been doing a great job in really understanding what Coach Rob wants from them.
Missing layups. Kimball McKenzie there cleaning up.
Yeah, Rob looking for the foul there, I think. Yeah, they can't be looking anywhere else apart from themselves at this moment in time.
Green finding position. Knocked into Bradley's hands. Johnson kicked out. Ollison looked at the three himself. He's going to go to the rack. And Mo Walker's there for the foul. And there's a technical foul also been called.
Yeah, I think on Kimball McKenzie for protesting.
Yeah. So the first foul will be called on Walker, and then a technical foul called on Kimball McKenzie by Eddie Dansky. One of the most respected officials in this league, Eddie Dansky, also a EuroLeague official.
I think Kimball's just clarifying what Tevin Ollison did there. Kimball McKenzie was claiming that Tevin Ollison committed a double dribble, I think, on the wing. He's now after an explanation from Ed. He's not going to get much luck there.
Yeah. Well,
Ed's very black and white. If Ed's called it and Ed's seen it that way, that's the way it is.
Three technical fouls in quite a short space of time for Kimball McKenzie. Of course, he got ejected against Cheshire, but in fact, it wasn't. It was on 2 unsportsmanlike fouls in that game, and the technical here. And he's quite a calm head.
He is a calm head. He is that experienced head for the Leicester Riders. I think it just shows where the Leicester Riders are at in this game. You know, they're very frustrated at this moment in time. Not really sure how they've got themselves into this position, but they need to find a way to get themselves out of it ASAP.
And here's the second free throw of the foul. Of course, we had 3 because of the technical. Tevin Ollison continuing to put numbers up in this first half. He's only missed 1 field goal attempt so far in this game. Comes up with another board. It's rebound number 6 for him. Ollison going all the way. And a blocking foul called, the basket called, and 1. This time it'll be called on Teddy Allen. Going downhill. Teddy Allen is outside the charge circle. And they're looking for the offensive foul. Your thoughts on that one, Dan?
I can understand why Teddy Allen is a bit upset, a bit frustrated with that one. He maybe did go to ground a bit too easy, but I think he was established in his position and he was standing still. So he has every right to feel a bit hard done to there.
And Ollison, he has put points on the board in this game. He is up to 21 points personal, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and a block. There's Trajan Jacob reaching up high to grab that one from the sky.
And if Leicester aren't able to cut this lead back, you'll see another easy basket for the Bristol Flyers. If Leicester aren't able to cut this back a bit before half-time, it could be game over. But you know, we hope they can find something in them. You see the attitude there of Mo Walker walking off the court. He looks like a broken man. You know, Leicester have got to find a way to fight back and get back in this game.
Rob Paternostre using his last time out here in the first half. And Bristol Flyers 57-32 with 1:55 remaining in the second. One of their best halves of basketball so far this season. You can see the foul trouble there. Mackenzie's got 3, Allen's got 3. Myron Thomas with 2. Eight turnovers from the Leicester Riders in this game have given Bristol 11 points. All of which are their fast points or fast break points tally as well.
Yeah, we see Rob Paternostre there again, another. He's extremely experienced. He's not losing his cool with his players. He's trying to get his players back on track, back on side, and back believing that they can get back in this game. You know, there wasn't a raised voice, there wasn't shouting, there wasn't screaming. You know, it's very calm, very poised, and you know that may be one of the ways to get his players back in this game.
Well, they just need to chip away at this deficit at the moment and try and get into a best possible position before half-time so they can reflect. Although interesting thing to note is that Bristol have left 6 points on the free throw line. They're 9 for 15.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great half of basketball for the Bristol Flyers, both offensively and defensively. You know, I don't think they've had a half where they've scored. You know.
Well, there is a foul and a bucket. Jaron Holmes going to the reverse. Defender on his back. The bucket is good, and 1 free throw to come. Here he is. Look, up on the back there. Johnson will be called for that foul.
Yeah, and that was exactly as Rob Paternostre drew it up in the timeout. We saw him there with his whiteboard drawing up a play. He was talking to Jaron Holmes about that backdoor cut, and it worked to perfection.
Holmes misses the free throw. Riders' 3rd trip to the free throw line in this game so far as Jacob jacks up another triple.
We saw Leicester there go to a zone defense. Maybe that can spark a bit of change.
Mackenzie misses the pull-up jumper. Johnson. Green. Wow, he does get the ball as TJ Lyle swipes it away from Jacob. He found Jacob Brad Green with a great pass. I thought that cut was over and done with, but found a way. Now TJ Lyle for 3. Big if it goes, no good. Under a minute remaining. Live here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Big shout out to all of our followers watching on Twitch and on TikTok. Foul called in. Number 13, Jaron Holmes called for that foul. Oh, listen, man, he's got the hot hand. He's just throwing it up, and the ball's just going like a magnet towards the bucket.
He is feeling it. He is feeling good today. This will be for points number 22 and 23, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, sir. In the first half of basketball. Well and truly a deserved spot in the All-Star game. March 17th, Copper Box Arena. Make sure you join us there. Live in person. Purchase your tickets now, BritishBasketballLeague.com. And also, if you can't join us live in the arena, you can watch it live on Sky Sports. Three-point contest, dunk contest, the men's and women's all-star game. Great day of basketball. Shelton trying to find room, and Thomas, rim check. Foul is called. And Bradley puts his hand up straight away. Everybody else is arguing the call. Bradley says, nah, that was me. However, the foul's been called on Brad Green.
It looked on the first glimpse that, you know, Merton Thomas just missed the dunk, almost blocked himself against the ring trying to dunk it, but it would be good if we could see that one back just to see exactly what happened there, because as you said, Levi Bradley was very clear what happened, but no one else was.
See Shelton there. Yeah, and I think Brad Green gets a bit of
his head, maybe.
Yeah, but also it was a bailout foul because essentially Thomas had missed that bucket. Didn't need to touch him. If he'd have made no contact on that, it would have just been a missed shot, and Bristol would have had possession. Andreas Kapoulis has called a timeout here with 25.4 on the clock. So he's going to run an offense here. He's going to draw something up. So off the back of a missed or a made free throw here on the final attempt from Myron Thomas on the line, then Flyers will go the other way, and let's see if we can. We've gotten a draw on the board here. So he's got one guy in both baselines. Guessing Brad Green in the block on the free throw line. Has another player, and he's looking for his point guard to dribble the ball towards the left-hand side of the floor, and he's looking for the screen action.
I think they're going to look for Brad Green on a deep seal.
Yeah.
I think Brad Green's going to screen down for probably one of the shooters, probably Tevin Ollison, and look for that deep seal, see if they can get the ball inside to Brad Green so he can finish close to the ring using that big body of his.
Let's see how well we know the sport of basketball, Dan. I know you've got a lot more acumen and a better resume than I have, and my Leicestershire local league many titles. But
I can tell you as a player, though, there's one thing what the coach draws on the board, and there's one thing what the players do when the ball gets thrown out there.
Let's find out. Here's Myron Thomas' first free throw, which he makes. Myron Thomas is one of the brighter stat lines, should we say, in this game for the Riders. He's got 12 points after that free throw.
Yeah, I would say him, Merton Thomas and Jaron Holmes are the only, bright sparks, if you can call them that, in this first half of the Leicester Riders.
Well, let's see what we got here. Let's see if we could read. Yeah, Tevin Ollison there in the block. Green's telling him, stay in the block, my friend. We've got time. We've got time. Very, very slight differentiation between the shot clock and the game clock. So there is that screen action to find Ollison. He has got the hot hand, and the foul will be called here as he gets Kimball McKenzie up in the air. And don't forget, that's Kimball McKenzie's fourth personal foul, and he's going to send Tevin Ollison to the free throw line for 3 points, and the chance for him to finish on 25 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a block and a steal in the half.
I mean, if that was the end of the game, I think that would be one of Tevin Ollison's best stat lines of the season, but it could be a huge, huge evening or afternoon for Tevin Ollison. But yeah, that's a big loss for the Leicester Riders as well. Kimball McKenzie, 4 fouls.
And thing is, for Kimball McKenzie, he bit on the fake. He was upset about that. But because he jumped forward as well into the shooter's landing space, foul is called.
We've got to give it to the referees. They have been consistent throughout the whole season in calling that. So, Kimball, being the experienced player he is, should know that and should be able to manipulate that situation.
Clip that up. The referees just got some positive praise there. Clip it up. McKenzie throws it up. And that is an end of a half of incredible basketball from the Bristol Flyers. They're in the lead at the half-time break, 61-36 against the Leicester Riders. Coming back after the break, we've got all the analysis for you. Mothering Sunday in our first game of British Basketball League action. My name's Tahir Hajat alongside Dan Clark, where the Bristol Flyers are currently in the lead 61-36 against the Leicester Riders, Dan.
I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
No.
Leicester Riders, the informed team, possibly in the British Basketball League. And the Bristol Flyers coming off a rough run of games. You know, they've played great basketball in this first half, moving the ball, sharing the ball, obviously led by the outstanding performance of Tevin Ollison. You know, it would be interesting to see how Leicester Riders come out in the second half.
Well, let's take a look at some half-time stats. What's jumping out off the screen to you, Dan?
Well, I mean, the obvious one, and it's always the case with the Bristol Flyers, is the total number of rebounds. They are an extremely potent rebounding team. But then we just look at those shooting percentages. You know, Bristol Flyers not known for shooting the three-point shot very well. 40% this year. You know, I've seen those 20 trips to the free throw line, you know, making that big difference, which is the 25-point difference at halftime.
61-36, the score. Let's take a look at the story of the half. I mean, you mentioned rebounds. They've got 4 players. 6 rebounds for Jacobs, 6 rebounds for Green, 6 rebounds for Bradley, and 7 rebounds for Ollison. You know, Riders did start quite positively, but Bristol Flyers showed that today they're looking to pour in some points for their mothers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been great from we see there. That's been the story for me. Bristol Flyers have been able to get into the paint at will in this first half, getting downhill, either finishing for themselves or sharing the ball and hitting those open shooters. Levi Bradley, Tevin Ollison, all catch and shoot guys that, you know, as we see here, Levi Bradley catch and shoot. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's paid to do. And that's what he will do if the Leicester Riders let him do that, you know. And it's just been, again, there we see Tevin Ollison getting downhill and finishing around the ring. You know, it's just been too easy for the Bristol Flyers in this first half.
Well, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and a block for Tevin Ollison. Trajan Jacob starting to feel comfortable shooting up the three as well. Leicester Riders have found themselves in foul trouble now. Kimball McKenzie has 4 fouls at the half. Myron Thomas has 3. Teddy Allen has 3. It's going to be difficult for them to navigate this second half of basketball, Dan.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Kimball McKenzie, case in point, you know, he is Rob's go-to guy when in situations like this, when their back's against the wall. Him having four fouls is a huge handicap for the Leicester Riders. You know, I think we've got to look for Connor Washington to have to play some big minutes in the second half and try and stabilise the Leicester Riders' offense and defense at this point in time. Because 61 points in a half, you're not going to win many basketball games like that.
Well, look, there has been lots of action this weekend, so it's time for you to catch up on some of those pieces of action right now. So up first, you're going to see the Caledonia Gladiators take on the London Lions, and then following that, we'll see the Cheshire Phoenix take on the Plymouth City Patriots. Splits the defense. Fraser Malcolm 3. Fight for the rebound, and Bothwell wins it. Fraser Malcolm again. And we know he can shoot the ball, can't give him 2 chances. Green now. Great handles from Green. Gets away from the defenders for 2. Taylor sets the offense here. He goes downhill. Jordan Taylor, strong take to the bucket. Olashedi, beautiful work. Connor Morgan along the baseline, 2 hands. Bothwell now rejected by Sharma. Not in this arena. Green off to the races. Quade Green, good to go. Tough take. Kaboza. That's a beautiful pass to find Sharma, who's going to punch that for 2.
Caledonia have got to use this momentum.
What a move again by Green. Oh my goodness, Clifton Moore Jr. out of nowhere. Quade Green split the defenders. Clifton Moore Jr. brought the house down. Paliza trying to create room there, but inside Clifton Moore Jr. Nice step through against Sharma. That's a great finish. Smart composure there from Clifton Moore Jr. And now rolls around the rim and out. Grantham with the rebound. Beautiful pass ahead. Gets it back. This time, Grantham's going to make the dunk count. The throw down with 2 hands. Matthew Morgan driving to the rack. Olashedi for 2. And Olashedi was feeling bouncy. Then he said, put it up for me, Matt. Put it up for me. Bothwell fires up a triple of his own and knocks it down. And this is exactly what Caledonia needed. Phillip to the right hand and 1. Tariq Phillip, the bucket is good. You can see the momentum changing.
Great play from Phillip to get to the inside.
Tariq Phillip gets to the bucket again for 2. And the Caledonia Gladiators fall at home to the London Lions. The Gladiators took them all the way to the end, but the experience and talent got the job done. Joe Hart fires up a second triple here. 2 for 2 from downtown Joe Hart. Rideau picks it away. Inside to Shagwad. 2 big, 2 strong, and 1. Rideau. He'll look to pull up. Nice hesitation from Rideau. Beautiful pass. Wonderful play. Rebound. Stolen. Right. Heads up. White across. Stevens again. This time, it's the result he wants. Outward, pushing forward, trying to find an angle, finds Jules Dangakodo for the 3 ball, and it's nice from Jules Dangakodo. Back to a 1-point game. What a pass. Wiley with the jam. Copeland with the vision. Incredible play for the Patriots. They take the lead again. Rideau driving. Trying to find the next pass, knocked away from his possession. Skylar White in the corner. Click, click, bang. Aaron Wright to Shagwar, and he stuffs it in with 2 hands. Rideau Between the leg pass to Shagwa for the 3. Oh yeah, baby. LeQuincy Rideau, something special for him.
Yeah, that's just beautiful from Rideau. Through the legs, bounce pass.
Hart inside Levi. Foul call and one. Kristen coming across too late. Stolen away. Nice hands there from Shagwa. He's going all the way. Ethan Shagwa in transition, looking over his shoulder. Maceo Jack, catch and shoot. Why not? 4th triple of the game for Jack, 16 points. Wiley. Oh my goodness, Jacob Wiley winding it up with the left hand kaboom.
Yeah, that was fabulous.
Copeland, stolen. Rideau. Oh, he's got something up his sleeve. Well, he's found Maceo Jack again for another triple. Lighting it up in Cheshire. The Cheshire Phoenix defeat the Plymouth City Patriots with a flurry of triples at the second half, 95-73. Welcome back. An all-star performance for the Bristol Flyers, their highest ever scoring half at home for them. And it's an all-star weekend coming up next week. Take a look at this.
The game of basketball requires a high level of concentration, advanced physical skills, and a deep knowledge of strategy.
It's also an unbeatable fun.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing beats unbeatable basketball.
Get it, boys.
Nothing beats high-flying dunks. Nothing beats three-pointer from deep. Wow! Woo. Nice. Nothing beats selecting your favourite players from the north and south. Nothing beats the best basketball entertainment. Watching the UK's best ballers. the sickest skills in the UK. It's the All-Star Game, baby. Unbeatable All-Stars. March 17th, London Copper Box. Woo!
To be young again, watching your team with a history-breaking first half of basketball and eating candy floss with your family. Wonderful.
Amazing. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon, out with your family, watching basketball on Mother's Day. What more could you want?
That's it. Well, I could tell you that there's a lot of Leicester Riders fans, either in the arena or at home, wanting a better performance from their side in this second half, as they trail 61-36 here at the Wise Arena in Bristol. Tough times for them. Here comes Green with the screen. As Lucas tries to find an option, finds Levi Bradley, who gets himself going nice and early here.
Start the second half as they finish the first. Levi Bradley's doing a great job again, establishing position down low and attacking the smaller and less aggressive Teddy Allen as he finishes on the other end.
Teddy Allen for two. He's also calling for the foul. Teddy Allen has only got 4 points.
Yeah,
2 for 8 from the field.
He is a scorer. He's going to want to get his average up. You know, he's going to get his shots up in this half, and you can guarantee that Teddy's going to try and get to that 20-point mark, because he often does in this league.
Well, Brad Green, he's trying to get to his season average of a double-double. As Mo Walker, his three goes for a long rebound into the hands of Lucas. Usually doesn't shoot more than 2 threes per game, Mo Walker, and a nice drive to the bucket. There's Ollison. Whatever it is, to start the half, Bradley gets the bucket, Green back to basket, Ollison to the rack.
It's the same as the first half. You know, we see Teddy Allen trying to be very aggressive here at the beginning of the half, but it's not going to be enough if they don't play any defense on the other end, and that's been the case all game.
Rebound now of Thomas's missed three, and Riders with a chance here to go, or should I say Flyers with a chance here to go 30 points into the lead, as Lucas does exactly that, pouring in a triple.
Yeah, and he was the only one in the first half that you'd expected a bit more from. He started this second half on fire. Great options, great decision making. As we see there, another Leicester turnover.
Oh, Green almost connects with Bradley on that bullet pass.
Brad Green's been watching Nikola Jokic in the NBA making those full court passes. But yeah, it's great defense, first of all, from the Bristol Flyers again. You know, really closing down on Teddy Allen driving to the basket, as we see there. That, you know, great read, great recognition from Trajan Lucas there to see his man go under the screen and rises up to shoot the three.
Green uses his foot to divert the ball away from Myron Thomas after the pass from Walker. So kickball violation, sideline now with the Riders. Here's Jaron Holmes. McKenzie, the crossover, loses Lucas. Mid-range, nice move from McKenzie.
Yeah, it's interesting from Coach Rob. Obviously, Kimball McKenzie picked up that full foul with 3 seconds to go in the second quarter. He's gone with him again to start the third to try and get this game back on track for the Leicester Riders, but it's a risky play.
Well, I actually think on the stat sheet they've got him down as 3 fouls. We did have him down as 4, but I'm not quite sure the situation is there. We'll check that out and confirm it, because if he does have 3, that would be the reason he's on the floor right now.
And this is what the Leicester Riders need to do: score on one end and get stops on the other. Brad Green almost came up with the offensive rebound, but Mo Walker just did enough to keep him off the boards. But they need to get stops more than anything. That's going to be the key to them getting back in this game.
Holmes pulls up mid-range for himself. There we go, Jaron Holmes for 2. He's got 13 points in this game.
We have seen Leicester Riders come back from big deficits this season. Remember, Surrey Scorchers were up 20-something points up in Leicester, and they came back to beat the Surrey Scorchers earlier on in the championship. the other week against Cheshire Phoenix, down 17-0, as you said, to win the game. So it's possible, it is possible for a team like the Leicester Riders to come back into this game, but they need to get a move on.
Well, a little 6-0 run here as Ollison fires up a 3. He's missed that one. Thomas with the rebound. Puts his head down, Thomas. Foul call on the floor. Bradley puts his hand up. Levi Bradley. Be his first personal foul of the game. And a timeout called here by Andreas Kopoulas. There's a little run for the Leicester Riders, just gives him some food for thought. Yeah, good timeout, I think, from Andreas there, making sure his team are aware that this game's not over yet. They've still got to play good basketball to win this game. It would be a shame for them as well to have such a good first half and then kind of just die off in the second half. He's trying to build for the rest of the season, trying to build for a successful run in, to that playoff spot. They're currently in 8th position. And they need to start playing some good basketball, and if they can play basketball they did in the first half, then they're going to have a good end of the season. Coach Rob drawing up something special on his board. There's the Leicester's. Andreas is not even using the ball. It's just about the mentality right now for his players. It's just trying to get them locked in and focused and making sure that they're doing the right things and things that have built this lead in the first place. Genzi, the floor commander for the Riders. Can he muster up the spirit and a plan to help them get back into this game? Ball in, and here's Holmes. Kimball goes over the top there, and that's great hands from Lucas to deflect it away. Took the risk. Took the risk. Passing lane. That's a very well-known play in basketball. It's called the Iverson cut, named after the legendary Allen Iverson. Leicester run it a lot for Kimball McKenzie to get him into a scoring position. And Trajan Lucas knew exactly where he was going. Teddy Allen in the corner for 3. Riders cut the lead down to just 23. Teddy Allen's going to get his shots up no matter what. He's going to try and get his points up, and hopefully that can help the Leicester Riders get back in this game. Johnson. He'll fire up a triple. And there's a response from Bristol. Kenny Johnson from downtown. And they've done that time and time again today. Leicester Riders think they're getting a little run together, and Bristol come right back with a better play on the other end. 15 points for Keedy Johnson. Holmes, inside hand is short. It's caught underneath the rim and the corner of the iron. Green, long 2, Brad Green. Everyone for the Bristol Flyers is getting on the action. Once you see that ball going from one guy, anyone can make a shot. Thomas, rebound for Green. And that is just playing into Bristol Flyers' hands. They get a good shot on one end, and Leicester come down, take a rush 3 on the other and miss it, and gives a chance for Bristol to come out again. What a save of the pass that is, and Ollison just throws it up there. Lucas slipping and sliding on the floor, gets the pass up eventually. Tevin Ollison knocking it down from the deep. And that will be his 30th point of the game, Tevin Ollison. We're going to head to a break right now, but Bristol Flyers lead the Leicester Riders 78-49. Tevin Ollison, that man right there, is 1 point away from his season high. He had 31 points in his last game before injury against the London Lions, and right now, with that triple in the corner, he has 30. On fire. His career high overall is when he played NCAA basketball. Is 40 points. He make history here today.
He's still got 14.5 minutes to do so to here, so I think he may be in shout if he keeps playing like he is so far.
Lucas. Fadeaway jumper for Lucas. Things are just getting better and better for the Bristol Flyers. Teddy Allen. Great box out there from Lucas. However, his teammates unable to clean up the boards, and now Bristol Flyers have it back. Wow, it's a situation here where you just gotta almost, you know, you can encourage your team to keep playing, executing what you think is gonna work, but oh my goodness, Ollison again. Ralph Thomas-Edwards, and a foul called here. 2 shots for Ralph Thomas-Edwards on the line.
Yeah, again, this is just another clear example of things just aren't going Leicester's way. You know, Duke Shelton does a great job on the other end, getting the offensive rebound, makes a terrible decision trying to make an impossible pass, and then Teddy Allen just gives up an easy rebound to Ralph Thomas-Edwards, which that's what Ralph Thomas-Edwards does. He crashes the glass really hard from that 3 position, you know, and he's got a reward here with 2 shots at the free throw line.
Thomas-Edwards makes the first.
See Rob's going deeper and deeper into his bench. We see Blake Bowman into the game now as well. A young British talent for the Leicester Riders. Hopefully he can, you know, get some valuable minutes here for his development.
Foul is called. Ralph Thomas-Edwards for a push. You know, for me, it's obviously it's a challenging situation for any professional basketball coach. You're there to win games overall, but when you do have young British talent on the bench, you know, from a British basketball perspective, you wanna see those players step onto the court and do well, but you also understand that coaches want to win games, and I would love to have seen more of Blake Bowman this season. You know, there's still time, but would love to see more. Brad Green, somehow, he's ended up with that. Big 3 from Jalen Holmes on the opposite side of the floor, and somehow the ball's bobbled into the hands of Green as he finishes at the rim.
Yeah, but I'd have to agree on your previous point about British talent. You know, it's obvious, this is professional basketball, this is people's jobs, and like people, you know, they want to win basketball games, but you know, I think, you know, one of the keys, the successes that we're going to find with, you see a great defense there from Trajan Lucas. I mean, that is just Bristol Flyers basketball there to a T. But yeah, I mean, getting young British talent on the floor in this league is key for this league's development, I think, and moving forward, and this league progression to the level it wants to get to. It's extremely important that the British talent and the best British talent starts to play and starts to produce in the British Basketball League on a weekly basis. I
mean, you know, this is the first time we've really had you in the comms booth since we've had the international window, and we had some great. Oh, a coach technical foul here. Rob Padanostro called for it. And a free throw to come here for the Flyers. And Ollison's going to go to the line to tie up his season high of 31 points personal. As he does that, let's see if he can make it happen, which he does. 31 points at Tevin Ollison. But yeah, so it's first time we've had you in the booth really since that international window. We had some great young talent on the floor. You know, Jabril Brello, Dan Aiken, Amin Adamu, you know, these guys have come up through the pathway, gone to college in the States, now playing in another league, you know, professional basketball, and representing GB at a high standard.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we produce a lot of talent in this country, and it's just making sure that talent's looked after and nurtured and given a good opportunity to play and play professional basketball. You know, one of the most jealous things I was of when I was playing abroad in Spain, etc., was seeing these, you know, homegrown talent play in front of their friends and family on a weekly basis. You know, it's just a great, you know, we saw before the young kids there before at halftime having a bit of candy for us. You know, that, you know, that's basketball. That's part of the game. That's, you know, the family-orientated kind of side to basketball, and we can do that, you know. And I think the introduction of more British players will encourage that even more.
Out of bounds, Bristol get it back. Brad Green, he is up to 14 points, 9 rebounds, 1 rebound off his double-double.
It's just a machine, double-double machine.
He literally is that. Well, what a great signing he has been for the Bristol Flyers this season. Thomas Edwards turning the corner, going up. Oh, that's a big rejection from Juice Shelton. Blake Bowman now, the showman, rising above the rim, talking about young British talent. That man has got bounce.
He is a great athlete, as we said before, talking about a few other players, but Blake Bowman can get off the floor with the best of them in this league.
Ollison. Green again, same spot. He's on fire from just around the free throw line.
Yeah, that short roll, as we call it in basketball world, you know, that roll to that free throw line area where Green has been extremely effective. We saw him miss one in the first half, but since then he hasn't missed much else.
Shelton runs into the wall of... Oh, and that's an and one given there.
Continuation play there for Duke Shelton. It's not something we're used to seeing Duke Shelton do, get into his bag there. We saw a few crossovers, but yeah, it's a great play from Duke.
Well, I think the Riders will try anything at this point. They'll just try and get points on the board. Brad Green called for his... It might be his 3rd personal foul there, Brad Green. Rebound for Bradley. Lucas for 3. Another triple for the Bristol Flyers. Incredible performance from them. Tejon Lucas is up to 10 points personal.
More importantly to him, 92 points in 3 quarters of basketball. I don't think we've seen that this season so far.
Bowman. Pump faking and drawing a foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Flyers scored 32 points in the first quarter, 29 in the second. They put 31 on the board here in the third. And the team's doing that. Want to figure things out. But checking into the game is Max Cooper. He was a new signing. I'm not quite sure if this is his debut. I believe it is his debut. He was signed from playing in the Irish Super League and is yet to have made his appearance. He's now checking into the game. I feel like Andreas Kopoulas is feeling a bit comfortable at the scoreline, and 34.9 on the clock in the third.
I mean, you would feel comfortable, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. 92-56, you would feel comfortable. You just see, you know, Blake Bowman misses another 2 free throws there, but...
a long journey for those Riders fans who've made the trip to Bristol.
It is part of the sport, though. You know, you have some good days, you have some bad days. You know, and Leicester at the moment lately have had a lot of good days. You know, and unfortunately today they just haven't showed up for this game. Well,
Bristol have a lot of bad days as well, and now they're having a great time in this game. And offensive foul called there. 18 seconds.
Max Cooper getting himself on the box score at least.
Yeah, indeed.
He's not going to have donuts.
I mean, we've got another 10 minutes of basketball to come. On here.
Another problem.
Shot clock again. Here in Bristol. Make sure that the right time is on the shot clock. There shouldn't be any shot clock once that change of possession happened. Only 14 seconds remains on the game clock. Ball in, here's McKenzie. Bowman trying to find room and a foul called. Just a little bit careless from Bristol at this moment in time in terms of their fouling.
Yeah, you can see Coach Kopoulas getting very animated there, even though they are up with this big amount of points. You know, we're all very aware that Bristol don't have the deepest roster. They don't have an enormous amount of players, and I think he was quite keen to get some rest to his main players today. You know, Brad Green plays heavy minutes. Tevin Ollison obviously just coming back from injury. It would be good to see Levi Bradley stay in the game to give Brad Green that bit of rest.
Yeah, Roman missing another free throw, and the disgruntled look on the faces of the Riders fans right there. Bowman makes the second. And some smiles behind the Riders fans from the Bristol Flyers family. And Jacob jacks it up from just behind half court. And there you have it. A monstrous performance from the Bristol Flyers once again. They have an incredible lead here against the Leicester Riders. Join us for the fourth and final quarter in this one. Well, here we go, the fourth and final quarter in this one. Victory lap for the Bristol Flyers, more than likely, as they lead 92-57 over the Leicester Riders.
For Leicester at this moment in time, I think it's just, what can Rob Paternostro and his team get out of this game, moving forward for the rest of the season.
Well, I mean, points difference counts, right? When it comes to head-to-head matchups, they're going to need to put points on the board here. Otherwise, should it come to a head-to-head moment in this incredibly tight British Basketball League Championship standings, in the race for the best possible playoff seed, it's going to matter.
Yeah, Leicester have done a great job in recent weeks in doing that, and and really having some big wins and some dominant performances. As we said before, this has just been a bad day in general for the Leicester Riders.
Misses the free throw. Levi Bradley got that foul and had to head to the bench, as he is now, I believe, on 3 personal fouls. Lucas.
See Leicester Riders going back to this 2-3 zone they tried in the first half. See if they can get Bristol out of this comfort zone that they're in.
Green inside, into the hands of Lucas. Will reset the offense.
He missed an easy one there, Green, but I do think that is his double-double on the offensive rebound.
Stat packing, that's what he's doing. He's shooting threes now as well. Cooper will be called for the foul there. And pushing in the back of Connor Washington. Max Cooper has got 2 fouls since, on his debut. He's getting stuck in the mix. There is the double-double. The double-double machine, Mr. Brad Green, 16 points, 10 rebounds, like clockwork.
So Tevin Ollison's been the star of the show today, but he's just so consistent in what he does, week in, week out. It's just, you can call it before the game starts that he's going to have a double-double.
Another interesting fact to know is that the starting 5 for Bristol have all but 5 of their points. Only 5 bench points in total for the Bristol Flyers, 3 for Trajan Jacob, and 2 points for Raf Thomas-Edwards.
Yeah, we've said that during the game that Bristol aren't the deepest team in the league. You know, they do have a 7-8 man rotation, and that's it. As we see Trajan Jacob there miss an easy one, but
we were both, our feeling, our intuition was completely wrong, wasn't it? Because we said that we thought he's going to have a big game, but he's not done that today so far.
Well, he hasn't had to either. That's the thing. You know, Tevin Ollison has dominated the offensive end for the Bristol Flyers.
Brad Green there dealing with TJ Lal.
He's a space eater. He eats that space up. TJ Law thought he had that space to finish up around the ring, and Brad Green just put his big body on.
Is that your favourite retro video game, Dan? Space Eater? Or Space Invaders? That's what it's called, not Space Invaders.
I'll go with Space Invaders, yeah. But no.
Yeah.
But Brad Green is an old school basketball player in that sense, in that he's just a big body. You know, you see a lot of these modern day athletic, multi-purpose big men, but Brad Green is an old school big man who just does what he does.
Skipped across to Lucas here. Back to basket. Levi Bradley inside. Green, another board onto his right hand and the finish. Brad Green getting it done.
That's a foul on Connor Washington.
Oh, an offensive foul called on Connor Washington.
It's just not going their way. No matter what they do, they can't do anything right at this moment in time. As I said, they've just got to try and find a way to get something out of this game, some positives, whether that is the time that Blake Bowman spends on the court, or getting Connor Washington back into this rotation and getting some good feelings going out of this game.
Jacob scoops it to the left hand. It's his 5th point of the game. Trajan Jacob. He does also have 8 rebounds. Allen there talking to the officials. Lucas, the runner, no good this time. Teddy Allen to the right hand. The basket is good for Teddy Allen.
That's what he was just asking for, I think, from that same ref. He was asking for the foul, and he got it on that drive. And it was a great trademark Teddy Allen, using his body, that big body he's got. Unorthodox style of play, but it gets to where he needs to get to finish there, and it's a soft touch off the glass.
Every time you saw the words being uttered there from Teddy Allen.
Yeah, I think that just sums up, Leicester's mentality going into today. I said in the first half that Bristol really established the level of physicality for this game, and Leicester just haven't matched it at all. And that allows the refs not to call fouls, and it allows the refs to let Bristol get away with certain things that Leicester aren't able to get away with, because they have established that level of physicality, and it's key. It's key for every game.
Ollison. Trying to find room here. Doe is doing a great job matching up against him. Ollison has to go from deep. Allen launches it ahead, and that's out of reach from Idowu. There was Johnson. Using every second of the clock now as Green. Inside again. Just misses that one a little.
It's good offense from Bristol, though. Good recognition. They saw the mismatch with Murney Thomas and Brad Green on the inside, and Brad Green just missed an easy one.
Inside to Lal. Johnson skipping through. Keedy Johnson to the left hand. 17 points for Keedy Johnson. Allen. Jacob, and they're just off running here, Bristol. Foul called, blocking foul, basket good. Trajan Jacob to the bucket. Myron Thomas not happy with the call.
We've seen a few of these today to here. Thomas had almost fallen before Trajan Jacob touched him there, but he was established, he was in the right position, but the refs are the one that make the decisions.
As Jacob is on the line, misses the free throw. Oh, Johnson over the top of Connor Washington's head. And there is 100 points on the board for the Bristol Flyers with 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game. And I think they've kind of taken their foot off the gas, really, in this fourth quarter as Bowman shoots up the three, no good. In terms of when they get into a half-court set, they are slowing things down. They are just running out the game clock. Yes, they will attack in transition as well at times, off the back of Riders' mistakes.
As you said, they can do that. You know, the lead they've got allows them to do what they want this moment in time on the court. So
Johnson again to the bucket for two.
I'm not sure what Leicester's biggest loss this season is, but I'm pretty sure it might be this game.
Yeah, without a doubt. You can get a Dan Routledge approved stat for that, I'll let you know. Thomas, three. Knocks it down. Thomas has 15 points. Jacob. Now with Johnson. Green. Bradley. I'm still waiting for Tevin Ollison to put some more points on the board, let me tell you.
He started to become a bit more... You see another silly turnover almost from the Leicester Riders, but yeah, he's become very passive now. Obviously, I think both teams have become very passive. They both understand the game's pretty much over, but I think it would be great if Tevin Ollison could establish that new record.
Well, I think that's what it is. Firstly, get a season high, because he's tied his season high already, and then maybe career high of 40 is not far away. Here's Johnson, he's driving to the left hand for 21 points now. Keedy Johnson. Forget you, Tevin, I'm going to eat mine. Well, we're going to have a quick break here as the Bristol Flyers continue to do damage to the Leicester Riders. We'll be back after this. Keedy Johnson, he has his season high of 21 points. He's had 3 occasions this season where he's made 20 points. against the London Lions, Manchester Giants, and also a second time against the London Lions in February on the 17th. 21 points is his highest point tally of the season, and a travel violation called there as Bristol get the ball back.
Yeah, I think we've seen that kind of transition from, you know, a Tevin Ollison orientated offense in the first half to a Keely Johnson offense in the second half for the Bristol Flyers. He's really taken the reins and really led his team to, you know, to a victory that was already established in the first half, but he's really played well in the second half.
A special talent for the Bristol Flyers. Had a moment out injured, and the Flyers really missed him at that point. Now when he's back, you can see how valuable he is. Just like that, man. 20 points and 15 rebounds for Brad Green.
Just another day in the office.
Another day in the office as Johnson comes up with the steal. Driving all the way, and Johnson, he's chasing his career high of 27 points.
It could be a day of career highs for the whole Bristol Flyers team at this rate.
Yes, indeed.
As you said, they're just dribbling out the clock a bit here just to spend some of that shot clock, but I'm going back to this middle pick and roll with Brad Green and Keely Johnson that's given them so much success in this, especially in this last quarter.
Jacob fires up the three. Don't forget, if you want to buy tickets to the All-Star game, scan that QR code now. You can purchase your tickets to be with us October 17th at the Copper Box Arena. Bristol Flyers ball. Substitutions checking in for the Bristol Flyers. Taking a seat, Brad Green, Tevin Ollison. That'll be it for both of them, I'm guessing, in this game. Brad Green finishes up with 20 points, 15 rebounds. Tevin Ollison ties up his season high of 31 points. He had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block in this game. 10 for 14 from the field. His only 4 missed shots were from behind the 3-point line, where he was 2 for 6. Thomas Edwards down low. Don't forget, one more game coming up today. You don't want to miss it. Me and Dan back in the booth. Caledonia Gladiators taking on the Newcastle Eagles on paper. Oh my goodness, Trajan Jacob wrapping that one underneath. But yes, Caledonia Newcastle Eagles, another close game potentially on paper, which we thought that would be the, you know, it would be that today. It's not been that in this game.
No, I'm really looking forward to that one. You know, I think Newcastle is really looking to go up in the table. Obviously, Caledonia trying to establish that second or third position in the league. But yeah, Newcastle need to have a really strong run into for the end of the season.
Keely Johnson will finish on his season high of 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 steals for the Bristol Flyers.
Landolfi in there for the Bristol Flyers. Coach Andreas really running the end of his bench now, giving everyone a taste of the action.
I think he's taken Max Cooper out after his two fouls. Get Max Cooper back in, man. Levi Bradley could do with a break. Samuels fading away, no good. Still rebound for Shelton.
Still on the box score now, though. It's not a donuts, as we call them, all zeros.
Yeah. Shelton hits the deck. Substitution comes in. There's Andreas's cue. Max Cooper in. Trajan Jacob will head to the bench in this game. He didn't have the greatest of shooting percentages. 3 for 13 from the field, including 1 for 7 from behind the arc. However, he did clock up 7 points and 9 rebounds in this game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He hasn't really had to, has he? They haven't really depended on him as they have in other games to, you know, really be the X factor and make big shots when they've needed to. You know, he's just played a good, solid game of basketball. You know, and that's one
thing. What the scoreline would be if he had made those points.
Yeah, we could be looking at the highest score of the season for the Bristol Flyers and across the whole of the BBL, the British Basketball League. Sorry.
Offensive foul is called here.
Wasn't Max Cooper, so he's good.
Yeah, he's all good now. Offensive call on Max Cooper. Blake Bowman to inbound. 1 minute 3 seconds on the clock. Bowman getting inside for 2. It's a Riders ball here on the baseline. David Griffin, the official, ready to hand it in. Thomas jacking up a 3. A foul called against Duke Shelton as he battles with Cooper underneath the rim. Well, this victory will be, from the records I have here, Bristol Flyers' biggest ever victory against the Leicester Riders, and the only time ever that they've put 100 points past them. Their highest ever scoring tally against the Riders, as well, as the game will finish 108-71 live on the British Basketball League YouTube channel, TikTok and on Twitch. Dan Clark, your player of the game.
I mean, there's only one guy, I think. You know, the victory for the Bristol Flyers was established in the first half, and that guy was Tevin Ollison. You know, in the first half, he was outstanding. I think he had, in the first half, 25.7 rebounds already. You know, he took his foot off the gas a bit in the second half, but he didn't really have to. You know, the game was already run by that point, but it was just a great performance from him in the first half, especially on the offensive end. But he also contributed, as all Bristol players do, you know, with the rebounds, with the assists, but his offensive output in that first half was just outstanding.
Get into the rack. Scoring from behind the arc, drawing the contact, right hand, left hand. Making it all happen today with a total of 31 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Tevin Ollison, your player of the game. And Andreas Kapoulas will be happy to start with a victory like that. Will that put pressure on other teams above them now in the British Basketball League Championship?
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. It even consolidates more that mid area of the table. And obviously they're in the 8th position, but you know, they're going to finish the season strong, no doubt. You saw, knowing Andreas and seeing his face there, he's extremely proud of his team today. Extremely proud of the performance they put out. You know, it's not easy. You know, it's not easy coming. You know, where they've been, where they're at this moment in time. They've lost a lot of games recently, but putting in a performance like that is just a great time.
Well, there's the stats for you there. Big on the boards, the Bristol Flyers, 52-39. 57% from 2-point percentage, 10 for 29 from beyond the arc. 24 trips to the free throw line, 4 of which only happened in the second half. Riders with an uncharacteristic 17 turnovers, 8 for 27 from behind the arc in this one. Let's take a look at the results and fixtures for you. 71-62, Sheffield Sharks won the first game of the weekend. Eagles with victory, Caledonia fall at home, Cheshire with victory, and now Bristol Flyers blow away the Leicester Riders 108-71. One more game coming up today here on Mothering Sunday, the Caledonia Gladiators taking on the Newcastle Eagles at 5 o'clock. Let's take a quick look at those league standings, though. Bristol Flyers on the up over your Surrey Scorchers, Dan. I'm guessing you were here, like, quietly hoping for a Bristol to not win that game so you could keep pushing.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, I'm happy for Andreas, I'm happy for Bristol, but at the same time, the competitive spirit is right there, and we want to finish as high as possible in the table.
Well, thank you very much for joining myself, Tahir Hadja, and Dan Clark. Any final thoughts on that game, Dan?
Just a great Mother's Day for the Bristol Flyers is my thoughts on that one. No, it's a great start to the day. I think there's a special day for British basketball today on Mother's Day, and I think it's going to be a great day as well. So.
Well, we'll listen with 5 o'clock. Don't forget, that's the next game. We'll be back with you for then. But for now, have a great Mothering Sunday. See you soon.